Hi guys, it's Edie's here and welcome to my beginner's guide to crystals. So I've been into crystals ever since I was a little girl, and I went to a museum, and in the museum, in the little corner gift shop, I found this little tiger's eye crystal, and it was like a little square, little tiny piece of tiger's eye, and I bought it. I begged my mom. I'm like, I need this, and ever since that day I've just been really into crystals. So today I'm going to share that love with you and answer some of the common questions or even misconceptions that people may have, and I'm going to be talking about the crystals that I suggest for beginners, where to buy crystals, how to use crystals, whether that is cleansing or clearing them, or charging them, what are rough, tumbled carvings, man-made, natural crystals, and what to do if you want to learn more about crystals. So if that sounds interesting to you, please keep watching. So the first thing that I want to talk about is some of the beginner crystals that I recommend. First one that I recommend is rose quartz. So this is what it looks like. So cute. And rose quartz is great for self-love or loving others as well. I use it for self-love mostly, and positive affirmations and confidence, body positivity, and I really love it. And this is a rough rose quartz, while this is a tumbled, actually, rose quartz sphere. One thing that you should know about crystals, the clearer that they are, the more clarity that it has, the better quality. So you want to be able to put it up to a light and be able to kind of see in it. And then a lot of crystals have inclusions, which means like little things inside of it, or stars or rainbows, and that's how you know you have really good quality rose quartz or any actual crystal. These are pretty cheap and pretty easy to get a hold of, but they're still a beautiful specimen. So I recommend this. I also should say that just because I created this list of crystals does not mean that you need to get these. I really recommend you going into a shop and kind of feeling the energy, the vibe, and looking at the crystals that kind of speak to you, stand out to you, and start with one crystal. It doesn't have to be like a whole museum that you need to have, but start with one and see how it feels. Read the metaphysical properties of the crystals and see if it's something that you need, whether it's, I don't know, you want a little bit more protection, a little bit more love, maybe you want a little bit more grounding. It really is up to the person, to you, which crystal kind of calls you. But these are just a list of crystals that I think are really beneficial, and they tackle things that are important to me, and I feel like they could be important to other people. So yeah, rose quartz, she's a beauty. The next crystal that I recommend is clear quartz. So this is where the clarity comes in. You can literally see through it. And this one has a lot of rainbows. Clear quartz is great for cleansing or clearing any negative energy, which I really recommend, because you might want to put this like next to your bed or in like your desk or in your work area, or carry it around with you, because it is amazing to get rid of negative energy. So clear quartz is a must for me. The next one is my favorite, and I'm actually wearing it right now, which is tiger's eye. So let me show you. This is a palm stone of tiger's eye, and this is a little tooth that I like to say. Tiger's eye is my favorite crystal of all time, and it is great for protection and to give you power and courage, and I really love it. I actually got this necklace handmade by a local artisan, and I just love it. There's something about tiger's eye that is just amazing, and I think it might be because it is actually the first crystal that I have ever kind of came upon and loved, so maybe that's why it holds a special place in my heart. But tiger's eye is a great beginner's crystal. The next crystal that I have is amethyst, which is another favorite of mine, and I have two of them. So this is chevron amethyst, which means it has this like chevron pattern, and the white that you see is actually clear quartz. So or I should just say quartz. So this is a like really juicy amethyst with a bunch of rainbows and so much clarity, while this one is a carving, and it has 2-for-1 quartz and amethyst. So amethyst is really great for calm like vibes, calming. It's great for balance and sleep. So I definitely recommend this if you are like stressed, because this has a really awesome calming energy, as often purple crystals do. And I'm going to be talking about some crystals that are really good for like stress and protection, which I seek in crystals a little bit later. The last one that I recommend is satin spar selenite. So this is a big discussion in the crystal community, because a lot of people call satin spar selenite or satin spar. I think they're pretty much the same thing. They have the same metaphysical properties, but they are a tiny bit different. So let me show you what that looks like. So satin spar looks like this, and I'll show you another, like a big tower that I have. So this is satin spar, and the properties are the same for selenite satin spar, which is for cleansing. It actually cleanses not only yourself and your energy, but also other crystals. So this is a great one to have along with another crystal that, you know, stands out to you. So yeah, that's really great, and it's also great for protection. Whereas, oh, and it also comes in a lot of patterns. I have like a moon dish. I have these like altar looking ones that I like to just put any new crystal that I get. I leave it charging or cleansing for like a day or two, and I know that it's ready to use, because you know, when you go to crystal shops or when you buy off you know, online or Etsy, that crystal is coming with energy from that person through the packages, you know, all that stuff. So you want to make sure that you cleanse your crystals when you get them with selenite or satin spar, because you really want it to be the best and have the best vibes and energy that there is. So I like to cleanse my crystals right before I use them. So that was selenite, that was satin spar. Selenite looks like this. It literally looks like, I don't know, like glass or something like that, and it might have some yellowish hues. It's kind of harder to find selenite than satin spar, but like I said, they pretty much do the same thing. Here's my cat, and actually my cat, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Actually, let me show you. My cat actually has a tiger's eye collar, because, you know, we're tiger eye people. So yeah, I really love using selenite or satin spar for my new crystals. I have this one actually underneath all of my crystal bracelets, so that you can charge and cleanse them as I wear them. And then I usually use things like this to put my crystals on. And these, I can tell you, this one was like $10 at a local shop, and this one was $13. So it's a little bit more expensive to get your hands, and kind of rare to get your hands on selenite. But like I said, selenite and satin spar pretty much do the same things. Okay, so those are the ones that I recommend for beginners. If you guys are interested in learning more about my favorites, I can definitely make a separate video about that. So moving on, I want to talk to you guys about where to buy crystals, where do I get my crystals from, and where do I recommend for you guys to get your crystals from. So I mostly get my crystals from like local crystal shops and TikTok or Etsy. So I don't have a favorite Etsy shop, but I do have a favorite TikTok shop, and the TikTok shop's name is called The Third Eye Supply. I think they have the best quality crystals ever. I'm a really big fan. So I definitely will leave a link down below so that you can check them out. They have live sales. They don't really have an online shop, but they do TikTok live sales like every other week. Like I said, I don't really have a favorite Etsy shop, but there is a shop that I kind of have, you know, have as a favorite on my Etsy account, which is called Cold Brew Crystals, and she actually has a YouTube page, and I really love her stuff. She has really awesome carving, so I definitely recommend her. And just go on Yelp, or you know, go on Google and research some local crystal shops, and you'll meet the best people ever. I've been to shops all over the world. Every time I travel, I kind of look up crystal shops because I like to see what they have, if they have like rare crystals or what the vibe is, and I usually like to support local businesses anyways. So that's where I get my crystals, and that's where I recommend for you guys to get them. And you're probably wondering, okay, so I just got crystals, what do I do with them? How do I use my crystals? So there's not really a specific way to use them. It's really up to you and how they benefit or improve your life. So one thing that I have to say is keep an open mind and just start with one. I kind of mentioned this earlier on, but find a crystal that speaks to you, maybe because of its metaphysical properties, or even because you like kind of like what they look like. You think they're pretty or beautiful. Start with one and see, put it in your desk or carry it with you, or maybe get a crystal necklace or a bracelet and see if you're noticing any differences, and take it slow. They're beautiful, they have a lot to offer, so there's not a specific way to use it, but I definitely recommend to get a necklace or a bracelet or get a tumble. I love to carry around tumbles in my pockets because I do have a stressful job. I always carry them in my pocket, like during an observation or a big day. I usually carry a bunch of them with me so that I can feel more confident and supported. And okay, so once you know how to use them, and maybe you've been keeping them in your pocket, or maybe you have a crystal necklace or a bracelet, how can you cleanse or charge them? I kind of talked a little bit about that when I introduced selenite or satin spar. And what I like to do is I like to just have satin spar everywhere around. Like I can literally show you guys, like I have selenite everywhere in my room because it's actually really good for cleaning the vibes, the airs, and things like that. So I just usually keep a little plate or a little selenite dish, and I keep my new crystals there, or crystals that I've used, to charge. So I usually just keep it on my desk or on my dresser, and I just keep my crystals. So for example, today I kind of talked and played around with these crystals. I'll leave them charging overnight for a day or two, and then they're ready to be reused. That's how I cleanse and charge my crystals. Another way that I've done it is by putting the crystals by the window on a full moon, because the full moon does have cleansing properties. So I usually leave them, or I have left them on the windowsill just on that day, overnight, so that they could charge using the full moon. The next thing we're going to be talking about is rough versus tumbled crystals. I am a fan of tumbled, but a lot of my siblings are actually fans of rough crystals, so we're going to talk about that. So a tumbled crystal is essentially something like this. It's polished, it's shiny, it's very smooth to the touch. And rough or natural crystals is crystals in their natural form. So this is like a rose quartz. This one's a little bit more lower quality because it's very light. Let me see what else. This is also a rough crystal. Here's another one. So these are just rough. When people talk about crystals and they say that it's a rough crystal, they're just talking about the crystal in its natural form when it got mined. After, what people or companies do is they tumble them using grit, and I'm not really too sure about the whole process, to make them smooth and ready, polished and cute. Like I said, I'm a big fan of tumbled stones over raw or natural stones, but I still have both. A lot of people, there's like a debate in the crystal community that rough stones or natural raw stones are a little bit more beneficial because it is a crystal in its purest form, whereas crystals that have been tumbled and polished do have been kind of altered in a way. But like I said, I'm a tumbled girl. I just like the feeling of them. And then if you hear people talking about carvings, it's just someone carved the crystals to be a certain shape. So I'm going to show you guys some of my cutest and my favorite shapes. So I have Totoro. So if you're a Studio Ghibli fan, I have a little lepidolite Totoro. I have a money tree, which this is, oh, not a money tree, I'm sorry, a money frog. This is actually from Cold Brew Crystals, and this is my favorite. This is a money toad, and I love it. I also have a strawberry rose quartz. I have a selenite or satin spar snake. I have a pyrite little snail, which I think is so adorable. I have a sun and moon labradorite, which has a really nice flash. I have a little moss agate mushroom, and I have another moon. This is a moonstone moon. So yeah, I love carvings. I'm a big fan. I love to see how creative people can get with carvings, and you can find any shape. You can find Pokemon, you can find hearts, which is another favorite carving of mine, but pretty much you can find any carving possible. Just Google it or put it on Etsy or TikTok and you'll see some creative carvings out there. But yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's carved, raw, tumbled, rough, whatever the case is, a crystal is still beautiful, and it has a lot of metaphysical properties that are beneficial to all, in my opinion. Some people also sell man-made crystals, so I'm going to be talking to you a little bit, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about what man-made crystals are. Essentially, they're just altered human-made crystals, but I still think that they're beautiful. I don't have a lot of man-made crystals because I do like more natural crystals, but I still have some that have come to me in some way, shape, or form. So this is opalite. So there is a real crystal, which is opal. I have a really tiny one because opal is very expensive, but opalite is a man-made version of opal, and I still think it's beautiful. This is a worry stone. And it's just man-made. It's usually glass or whatever. This is goldstone, and they also have blue goldstone. These are also man-made, so they are not natural at all. So if you have any crystals that have these like shiny rainbow sheen on it, this is an aura coat, and that usually means that it's been heat treated as well. So those are man-made crystals. Once again, if you think it's beautiful, you like it, and they still have metaphysical properties that are beneficial to you, if you like it, buy it. The next and last thing that I'm going to be talking about is what to do if you want to learn more about crystals. So one of the things that helped me kind of learn about the metaphysical properties of crystals has been the Crystal Bible series. So I have 2 of them. I believe there's 3. These are both by Judy Hall, and like I said, I believe this is a 3rd volume, and essentially it's literally a Bible for crystals. So it's a guide, and you could open to any page and you could find any crystal. For example, Larimar, which is one of my faves, and it kind of talks about their properties, their colors, what are their attributes, how do they heal, like lepidolite, like any crystal that you can find is within these little Bibles. I also like to get like cards. So this is a card deck that has different crystals on it, and it talks about like an affirmation and some of the things that it's good for. So these are actually from Moonstruck Crystals. Can we just talk about how beautiful these are? So they're just different crystals here, and it has a little affirmation, and you could always buy a card deck like this and say, okay, Chrysocolla, all right, what is it known for? I also like to keep a crystal journal. Let me get that right now so that you can see what it looks like. So here's my crystal journal. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. This is what my crystal journal looks like, and I just choose one crystal, and I write about their properties and affirmations, and I make like a spreadsheet or a kind of journal about that specific crystal. Of course, I had to do tiger's eye. And I talk about like their properties and things like that. So I recommend that if you want to learn more about crystals, choose one that, catches your eye. Maybe you could even pull a deck and say, okay, so today I'm going to learn about selenite. Or maybe you can open the Crystal Bible and kind of flip through. Okay, I'm going to learn today about, I don't know, let's see. chrysocolla, and I'm going to make a spread about it, and that's what I usually do to get inspired. But to keep a crystal journal has been really awesome and has been really like calming and relaxing, almost therapeutic for me. So that's one thing that I recommend as well. Another thing that I recommend is to purchase crystal advent calendars. So I did this when I first like got into them again, like I introduced myself to crystals like during the pandemic, and I got advent calendar where crystal shops kind of wrap their crystals, and you can open one a day, and then they usually give you a little card that talks about the crystal, or they'll tell you what the crystal is, and then you can look up what the metaphysical or the attributes are for that specific crystal. Another thing that I really love to do is get crystal confetti. So crystal confetti is pretty much someone has put a bunch of crystals in one little tub or tin, and you can kind of use crystal confetti as a identification process to learn the different names of crystals. There's an app called Crystal or Rock Identifier that can help you with that as well. I actually sell my own crystal confetti if you're interested, so I'll show you guys what my crystal confetti looks like. So it comes in a little bag here, and every crystal confetti comes with a sticker or several stickers. It comes with a prism ball that kind of makes your room have rainbows. It comes with a little bottle of like herbs or cleansing mix, and then it also comes with a mushroom, so you'll be able to get a little crystal mushroom, which is so adorable. They're usually a little bit smaller than this though. And you could go through and see like this one's snowflake obsidian and learn about all the different crystals. One of my favorite things to give in my crystal confetti is my crystal reboot mix. So if you are new to crystals and don't own a selenite or sandspar plate or anything like that, you can get my crystal reboot mix, which looks like this, and it has satin spar powder in it, so you can get a little dish. Maybe you can even do like a candle cover, and you put the little bottle, my reboot mix, on the candle lid, and then you put the crystals on top to cleanse and charge them. That has been really fun to create. It has crystals in it already, as well as some herbs that make it smell amazing. So if you're interested in that, you can find that in my crystal shop. My crystal shop's name is Crystal Picks, and I'll leave some links down below. I also want to show you guys what some of my crystal bundles look like. So the only one that I'm going to show here today is my crystal Coraline bundle. So all my crystal bundles come with an identification card that talks about that specific crystal's properties. So this is what it looks like, and this is what my bundles look like. So when you open it, this is the Coraline bundle. So if you're a fan of the movie Coraline, you might love this one. So this is fluorite, which is a beautiful crystal, and you can see the clarity. Fluorite tower. We have a rose quartz rough or raw rose quartz. Malachite, which is a beautiful crystal. It's one of my favorites. We have a big citrine. We have onyx, which is actually great for protection. And we have solidite, which is also great for intuition and perception and things like that. And then I have a little cute buttons for the Coraline movie. So that's what my crystal bundles look like. I have a lot of beginner crystal bundles. I have bundles based on movies. So if you're interested, please check out my crystal shop. Even if you want to just favorite something or get something small, I also make crystal croc charms and all of that stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're excited about crystals, and let me know which crystal kind of calls you or stands out to you, any of the ones that I kind of showed today or ones that you know about previously. I hope that you learned something today and are excited about learning more about crystals, and I hope I helped you in your crystal journey. Thank you so much. Bye.